Hey, thanks for watching, guys. It's Tanis from Born Again Hooligan, and you're watching the Daily Tap-In. I want to give a special shout out to an individual who hit me up, personal message, and asked me a question after kind of giving a pretty good description of what he's got going on in his own life and what his situation is right now. And before I go into that, was what I thought, in my experience, was or is still the most important focal point during a person's transitional stage. Somebody that's trying to improve their life. Now, kind of asked just like that with no context or anything like that. It's very subjective. It depends. Different people need focus on different things depending on the severity of their circumstance. But given this person's situation that he shared with me, I'm not going to go into personal details, but kind of the broad picture is this guy is a ex-gang member, turning away from the life of crime and violence. He's an ex-drug dealer, done a lot of time in prison, and is really trying to do right by his family. And I just want to say, man, congratulations for choosing that path in the fork in the road, because not many do. And it's a hard thing to do. And so you've made the hardest step there is, and so the rest is the rest is gonna get better, man. So just stick with it, keep your head up, man. I encourage you to stay plugged into positive people. And to answer the question, so given that background, so given that type of situation, I'm going to answer for him and anybody else that is coming from a life of addiction, a life of crime, a life of violence, gang life. I relate to all these things. I relate to being involved in a life that I don't want to be a part of anymore. So whether that be the life of addiction, alcoholism, abuse, if you are coming out of of abusive relationship, this goes out to you too. Separation is key. And what I mean by that is you have to separate yourself. You have to create distance and space between you and the negativity that once held you down and made you backslide, right? The things that once took your life, right? For me, it was drugs. For me, it was that life. And so anything that connects me to that life, I have to cut ties with. I have to get rid of, because it is going to inevitably, no matter how strong I think I am, it's going to cause me to backslide. And planting those little seeds of negativity, it may not take root today or tomorrow or in a month or in a year, but at some point it's going to. So we have to be very, very careful, especially the people that are coming from life of addiction or addictive situations. You can be addicted to people too. You can be addicted to anything that gives you a good feeling, right? So you need to be very careful if you are trying to better yourself, that you are not hanging around situations, people, and circumstance that are going to cause you to stumble and backslide. It's counterproductive, and it's easier said than done. I'll give you that. It's not easy to do, but neither is changing your life. It's hard work, and so relationships, the people that once influenced you in a negative way, for me personally, that was definitely the hardest thing to do, was cut ties with those people. And I still struggle with that today. There's still times that I see people out and about in the store, around town, that, man, I used to have a good bond with this person. No matter what we were doing, no matter what walk of life we were in, I had a good bond with this person, and that sense of nostalgia comes. That sense of, oh man, that was like a safety net, that feeling of like, hey, he knows me. But you have to remember, like, that person does not have your best interest in mind, especially if they're still in that life. Now, if they're recovering and they're, partner up, man. Iron sharpens iron, and it works. But you have to know, you have to use your own discretion. So in situations, when the red flags start popping up, listen to that little voice inside your head. You know right from wrong. So separate yourself from any person, place, or thing that has once caused you or still causes mental battles. You know what I mean? That struggle of, should I do it? The little angel and the devil pop up in your shoulder. You have to know which voice to listen to. And it's hard to differentiate between, oh, is this good for the now, or is as good for the future, you know? So you have to really focus and really dig deep and really want to change. Because if you don't, man, it's not going to work. You have to want it as bad as you want your next breath, right? Try holding your breath, man. After about 30 seconds, you're going to really want that. You have to want to change. You have to really want to better yourself. If you're going to make this work, you have to separate yourself from the things and the people that once brought you down, because they're going to continue to bring you down. And I am proof of that. You know, there's been multiple times where I've slipped and stumbled because of the people that I choose to surround myself with. And so mistake after mistake, now I finally learn that you have to separate yourself. You have to create distance from you and anybody that doesn't have your best interests in mind. So whether that's family, old friends, people that you grew up with, it doesn't matter who they are. If they don't have your best interest in mind and your growth, and they're not with your movement, then you have to be selfish for your own success. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't get that they have to change everything about them if they want to change their situation. If you want to go from this life to the next, if you want to go from a life of gang activity, crime, drugs, alcoholism, abuse, whatever it is, if you want to leave that life to go to the next, to better that, you're going to have to make some radical changes. And it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be outside of your comfort zone. But you have to know that that's what it takes to get to the next step. And so I just want to encourage anybody that's going through that transitional stage, whether that's abusive relationships, alcoholism, addiction, doesn't matter what it is, we all have something. So if you're coming from that negativity, just know that whatever is connecting you to that, you have to cut ties with it immediately, or else it's just going to keep sucking you back. So I just want to encourage everybody to keep your head up, man, and stay focused. And the people that are struggling with addiction and just that mental state, keep fighting, man. You're gonna mess up. That happens, but it's not the end of the world. So don't beat yourself up if you're messing up, but just know that you gotta stop, man. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really hope that this is making as much of an impact as I hope it is. So thank you everybody who tunes in, supports this. I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow, depending on how I feel. If not, I'll see you in the next couple of days with the daily tap in. So stay up, stay blessed. Love you guys. Thanks.